What's up, everybody? Welcome to Moneyline Media. We have a special edition for you guys tonight. Oh, wait a second. I hope you guys are also having a thrilling, terrific Thursday.
Yes, I thought you were going to say deja vu because we've done this segment before.
We've done. It is now time for part 2 of James is or James isn't.
By the way, I had the best QB rating in the playoff game.
Oh God.
The other day. I know it was one pass. I get it, but
You're
both me and you were both excited about it.
Yes.
So, okay, we'll start off. This is a ranking from the beginning of the year of quarterback. So it's going to go on who has the best quarterback, whatever.
What's that?
So we'll go Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Jameis isn't.
James isn't.
Yeah, I mean Patrick Mahomes.
From what I've heard, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback that's ever touched the face of the earth.
I think he will be by the time that he's done. That might be a hot take.
Remains healthy for more than an hour and 20 minutes.
I think that's a hot take, but yes, I think that he will be the best to ever do it by the time.
How is that a hot take, Deirdre? Everybody on planet Earth says that.
Well, I mean, do they really? Because I haven't heard that. I mean, I've heard that he's very good. I've never heard someone be like, he's going to be the best in the world by the time, like he's going to be the greatest of all time by the time he's done.
I thought he was the greatest of all time already.
No, I'm not saying not yet.
From what I've heard.
Not yet. Soon. All right, next up, Seattle Seahawks. I mean, Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson. Tough, because towards the end of the year, he really did struggle.
Yeah.
But
James isn't.
Yeah.
Better than Russell Wilson.
I'm going to go with James isn't as well. He just doesn't have, I mean, Russell Wilson at the beginning of the year, every year is fire. Mm-hmm. And he's very good. I mean, there's a reason why he makes the Pro Bowl and why he's in top nominations every year. He's very good. He does struggle in the playoffs, though.
Yeah.
That doesn't make for a poor quarterback.
Well, defense wins playoff games.
All right. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, Jameis.
I'm going to agree with you. I think Jameis, too.
Kidding me?
I think if you put Jameis on that team, I think they potentially could beat the Bills. I think it'd be a lot higher scoring of a game than it was.
Yeah.
I think
listen, I don't know if Jameis on that team is better than Lamar Jackson because of the way they run their system. But Jameis Winston is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
But also remember, John Harbaugh had Joe Flacco and made him a very good quarterback as well.
That's true.
So, and Joe Flacco is not mobile.
No, he's not.
So Harbaugh knows how to,
True.
Manipulate systems.
By the way, also their offensive coordinator is terrible at the passing game.
Yeah, but again, I think they'll be able to manipulate. But I'm going to go with Jameis as well. I think Lamar Jackson had a little bit of an off year. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think that they need to start looking elsewhere. I'm just also very big on Jameis. So some of these might be a little biased. All right. Jameis' own team, Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints. We're going based on this year. Jameis.
We're talking about right now?
Right now. Not all together. This is the season. Let's also look at, do we think they could have had a better season than that other person did with that team? That's kind of how we're looking at it. Drew Brees
is very. From a quarterback standpoint, Jameis is better.
Yes. I agree. Jameis is better. Right now, Brees is obviously better all time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, I mean, we're not stupid. We're talking to one of Drew Brees' old teammates tonight. We are not stupid. Drew Brees is one of the greatest of all times, one of the most consistent of all times. This is just going based on the last season. And I mean, also, in the last game, we saw quite a bit of issues with Drew Brees. But Amazing career if he ends it here. And even if he doesn't, it's going to be one of the best careers. He brought a championship to New Orleans, which is very incredible for a great city. And he was there for them at a rough time when Katrina hit. But right now, I'm going Jameis. Okay. Next up, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady.
Now,
I started the year in our last segment. Not even the year, because we're almost a year old now.
Oh, shit. Are we? Yeah. 3 more months, right?
But, yes. But and I said Jameis. I'm watching the way that Tom Brady's working with that team. Jameisn't. Jameisn't.
Is Tom Brady just that damn good?
I don't think Jameis would have had the same luck that Brady has had with that team.
Oh, the same luck?
Not luck, sorry. Luck? The same luck is bad. That was not what I meant.
Chemistry?
Not chemistry. The same. They wouldn't have been able to go as far as they did. That's why I said the same, like luck as in getting where they are. Because I think it does take a little bit of luck. But yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Also, if it was the opposite way around, like if Drew Brees said one last weekend, I would have said Jameis. But, part of that. All right, Deshaun Watson, the Houston Texans.
Oh, well, Jameisn't.
No. Watson's incredible. Very good player, obviously. Terrible system. I do think Jameis does do well in that, like, with them, though, too. But I would much rather have Deshaun Watson on my team than Jameis Winston.
Yep. Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers, you're going to say. Go ahead. You got to say it. You're going to say it.
Jameis.
You're out of your mind. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Jameis.
That's crazy. Also, don't say his name never mind. That's just crazy. Jameis isn't as good as the person that we're talking about, because this will go in the promo. He is not as good as that person.
Deirdre. That nut job.
Who shall not be named.
Hasn't thrown a ball over 20 yards in 5 years.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You're wrong. You're wrong. This is just your hatred towards him for no reason.
It's not.
Jameis isn't. He's just not.
It's really not, though.
He's not.
Like, if you look up his explosion plays, there is none.
Crazy. That's just such a crazy thing to say. That's so ridiculous. All right, next up. Because we're never going to agree on that one.
Nope.
Because I think that...
You put him with that roster, Jameis is a Super Bowl champion.
Oh, I don't think so. I do not think so. I do not think so.
You think Noodle Arm is better than him?
The fact that you're calling probably one of the best passers of our generation Noodle Arm is ridiculous.
He is a Noodle Arm.
Okay. No, he's not. That's so stupid. Matt Ryan, the Atlanta Falcons. This is a tough one.
That is a really tough one.
So I think Matt Ryan's very good.
Matt Ryan is very good. I'm gonna go with James isn't right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with James isn't too. I think that Matt Ryan gets a really bad rap.
Yeah.
I just think it's that Falcons team that can't win. I don't think it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think James isn't. Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys.
James isn't. And that pains me to say. Because Dak has no weapons. What? He's got Amari Cooper, that's it.
Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, C.D. Lamb when he comes back.
Even though it was a rookie, Dak played with him for 3 days.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying he's someone that he has. Like, let's not say he doesn't have weapons because he does. That's a ridiculous statement. That's a
Who are
ridiculous
his
statement.
weapons? Cooper?
What?
I don't consider Gallup a weapon.
Oh, he is definitely a weapon. Definitely.
Cole Beasley on top.
Oh yeah, Cole Beasley's great. Well, we saw that. So also, did Dak have Cole Beasley? I think he did. For maybe the last couple of years.
1 or 2
years. Yeah. Okay. I am going to go with. I'm going to go with a tie. Can I go with a tie? Or does it have to be Jameis or Jameis?
Well, too.
I think that they're similar.
I'll give you that. I'll allow it. But you only get one.
All right, that's fair because I think that's the only one I would use it on. Well, We'll see. All right, Carson Wentz. Jameis.
Oh, Jameis. Yeah. Carson Wentz is a joke.
Yeah, it's not pretty in Philly
real
right
quick,
now.
By the way, the Eagles are just making a real mess of that organization real quick. You see who they hired today?
It was the Indianapolis Colts
offensive
coordinator. Yeah, I mean, also I heard.
He didn't coordinate any offense?
I heard that the two most undesirable head coaching places were the Texans, obviously, no first-round pick, and the Eagles cap space hell.
Yeah. Who the hell would want to go coach?
And the two of the more exciting head coaching places to go were the Jets and the Jaguars.
Good Lord.
Well, a lot of cap space. Really great draft.
I'll just keep my regular job. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings. Again, another guy who gets a bad rap.
That's my James equal to.
That's your James equal to? Okay. Yeah.
Guys with bad raps, good quarterbacks.
I agree. I'm gonna go Jameis because Jameis is a little bit younger.
Okay.
Little bit. Kirk is a little bit small. He's a little small, not like height wise, but he's a little skinny. And I think Jameis throwing it down the field to Justin Jefferson would be freaking incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm going Jameis here, but I don't think Kirk Cousins is a bad quarterback. I think people shit on Kirk Cousins a lot, but like them not making the playoffs this year was not Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
Just want that to be said. All right. Next up, Ben Roethlisberger, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Jameis is better. You kidding?
I right now, Jameis is better. Yes.
Right now, tomorrow, yesterday, last weekend, next weekend.
But we're not talking about like late 2000s.
Prime Ben Roethlisberger? Yeah, of course. Ben Roethlisberger was better than
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He wasn't even in the league.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying now. So let's. He was not. He might have not even been born. But yeah, I agree. James is right now. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion. That's not by accident. But right now, let's be honest. All right, next up, Matt Stafford, Detroit Lions.
Oh shit! I should have used my James equal to here. James isn't. Oh God, James is because of health.
That's why I was going to say James is because of health, but it is a very close one.
Yeah.
It's a very close one. And also, it would be interesting to see what Matt Stafford did with an organization that just wasn't, terrible.
Yes.
All right. Derek Carr, Las Vegas Raiders. You don't like Derek Carr, right? You're not a Derek Carr guy.
James is better.
I think James is as well.
Yeah.
But I will say this.
Eerily similar.
Kind of. But I will say this. I don't think the best place for Jameis to play would be the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would work.
That's that. Let's move on.
Yeah. But Jameis is better than Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo, the San Francisco's 49ers.
Jameis.
Jameis.
Yeah, no question.
Jameis definitely, I think, with that defense, those young guys. Yeah, I think that he would. I think they would have a really good season with him.
Mm.
All right, next up, Phillip Rivers, who retired, but he was great career.
Yeah.
Great career, but we're talking about this year.
I think Jameis takes that team further. So I think Jameis.
I think Jameis for this year, not all around.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
this year. All right, Jared Goff, the Los Angeles Rams.
Jameis.
I agree, Jameis.
I think Jared Goff is really just.
I think he's underrated. I know I've told you this. I think that people have overrated him so much that he's underrated, but it's kind of hard to be underrated with that paycheck.
True.
But again, good weapons. That Cam Akers kid, that Florida State connection would have been cool to see. But Jameis better than Jared Goff. Right. All right, next up, Baker Mayfield with the Cleveland Browns.
Jameis isn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jameis isn't. If again, I believe at the start of the year, probably both of us had said Jameis is, but Baker, the way that he conducted himself this year has made himself, go up very high on our books. He is up for the Moneyline Media Most Improved Award. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And it's funny because this is like an early article and they talk. He ranks 4th in leagues in big time throws with 68, but he also ranks just behind Mitch Trubisky in terms of turnover worthy plays. And he completely did so much better than he had done with those.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Kyler Murray.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Jameis is better.
I'm going to go with Jameis isn't better.
Do you love every quarterback that throws a Hail Mary?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Fullbacks, kickers, and guys that throw Hail Marys are my thing.
Okay.
But no, I think he's young. He's exciting. I think he has a lot to prove still. But I think that, this was only his second year in the league and he almost made the playoffs. And he would have probably made the playoffs if he wasn't injured that last game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad take. Very, very bad take.
Okay. Cam Newton, New England Patriots.
Jameis.
Yeah, Jameis. We said that would have been yeah, I don't know why I said we said that would have been a great spot for him. And we said we couldn't believe that they signed Cam Newton over him, but it was also, I think, a maturity thing.
A maturity thing. All right. I don't think he was that mature, to be totally honest.
Okay. But yeah, Jameis definitely, I think. All right, next up, Tennessee Titans, Ryan Tannehill.
Jameis.
I'm going to go with Jameis, too. I think
Tannehill. I think Tannehill's a very good quarterback.
I think he's good, too.
Yeah, I just don't think that he's, Jameis is a big arm.
Yeah. Ryan Tannehill fits perfectly where he is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that Tannehill's a great system quarterback there. Fits that system perfectly.
Yep. No,
I'm not saying he's a system quarterback. I'm just saying I think he fits the Titans system very good.
Right.
Okay. I don't think that he's a system quarterback because he's not like Patrick.
No. I'm not saying I just think that he fits well when he's not the when he's the opening act, not the main act.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, next up, Joe Burrow.
Ooh, Joey B. Haven't seen enough, but what I did see out of Joe Burrow, Jameis isn't.
Yeah, I'm my only
What
concern.
Listen, what Joe Burrow did with that Bengals team is unheard of.
Yeah, right now I'm
They
going.
won.
Right now
They
I'm
won a
going.
game.
What'd you say?
They won a game.
I know. I'm gonna go with right now. James is in the future. James will not be.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Ryan
That's your new
Fitzpatrick,
take on it.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, or Tua, Miami Dolphins.
I think leads the Dolphins to a divisional title.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jameis.
I'm sorry, not a division title, a divisional round playoffs win.
Okay. You mean a wild card?
What?
You don't think they win? You think the Bills win the division, even with Jameis on that team?
Probably, but it would be really close. It would be way closer than it was.
And you think that so they'll make it the wild card, but they'll win a wild card game.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
That's good. That's a good call. I'm gonna go with Jameis too.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Teddy Bridgewater.
Ooh, Teddy B. Jameis.
Jameis.
And that's hard for me to say. We all know I love Teddy B.
He kind of underperformed, I think, than what we thought he was going to do this year. I
He
think
underperformed, but also that team is just atrocious.
They're young. They're young and they're learning.
Yeah.
And it's tough when the guy that was supposed to be your number one guy gets injured. That's what I will say. I also think that Teddy Bridgewater is a great bridge quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree, Jameis. I think Carolina might not do as well, or like not might do as bad, but I don't think they make the playoffs with Jameis. Gardner Minshew, Jacksonville Jaguars. We could say that about Mike Glennon as well, Jake Luton too. So any of those guys.
Jameis,
yes. Agreed. Jaguars, we knew were kind of going to have a rough season this season. Mm-hmm. We knew that they were going for a quarterback in the next draft. So no surprise here. Oh, this might be tough for you. Danny Jones.
Jameis,
I agree. I think that he would have taken advantage of maybe Evan Ingram more, maybe Sterling Shepard, Golden. He had a couple of weapons, Daniel Jones, that just didn't quite work. Okay.
Although I do think that with Jameis, I think the turnovers pretty much remain the same because what Danny Jones did in fumbles, the Jameis would do in interceptions with that offensive line.
Exactly.
Yeah, he would hurry it and it'd be an interception. You know how Jameis is.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. You're right on that. All right, Josh Allen.
Oh, Jameisn't.
Yeah, it's so crazy because this was like a beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Thing, and he's ranked 27, and now he's like probably top 5.
Crazy.
Maybe top 3. 28, Tyrod Taylor, but we'll go Justin Herbert.
James.
I'm going to go Jameisn't.
I hate rookies, man.
I know, they're tough.
Jameisn't. Justin Herbert just showed us too much this year.
I agree.
Yeah, I think he's just going to keep growing too. So
I agree.
I'm going to go, James isn't here.
All right, Chicago Bears, Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky.
I think Jameis would be a nice fit there.
Yeah, I think Jameis will be too. Jameis definitely better than those two. Though I do think Mitch Trubisky might have saved his job in Chicago during the
and I think that the trigger was pulled too quickly on Mitch.
Oh yeah.
Way too quick.
And also, they don't have a great offensive line,
No.
Yeah. All right, Sam Darnold, the New York Jets.
James is.
Yeah, James definitely is.
I think, first off, you guys are talking about Deshaun Watson. I don't understand the reason why you guys wouldn't sign Jameis.
I agree with you, but
instead of giving up every draft pick you guys are ever going to have.
Right, but I think it's also tough for them to be like, we're going to sign this backup quarterback when we had a chance of one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. I know, to us, he's not a backup, but there are people in the league.
You guys can't get Deshaun. Get Jameis Winston.
I agree. not disagreeing with you. All right. The Washington football team, Dwayne Haskins, Taylor Heineke, all the guys that they had start.
Who'd you say?
Dwayne Haskins, Taylor, isn't it Heineke?
Oh, Taylor Heineke, yes.
Yeah.
Smith,
Jameis out. Yeah, I agree with that. He would be interesting for that team too. Dwayne Haskins actually just got picked up by the Steelers, which is really strange, but
yeah. First off, what a way to add another mental head to that mix.
Yeah. Another ego. I know. It is a little crazy, isn't it? Or maybe it's us.
Maybe it's us?
Yeah, maybe like we just don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Next up. Last, the Denver Broncos, Drew Lock.
Jameis.
Jameis as well. I agree with you on
that. Holy crap.
I love Drew Lock, but he's not there.
I know you do.
So he's not there. All right. And that is it for our segment. James is or James isn't. The second one, there will be more of these coming up. We're going to be working on a lot of some new content, new segments in the off season. I know we're not quite there yet, but it's coming. All right. James?
All right. Y'all ready for this? What
you meant to say was?
Stay safe. Stay well.
Stay hydrated.